Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Claire and this is the Singing Sewist. Today's video is all about the adventures that Sophie and I had in London for the last couple of days. We went up to the knitting and stitching show at Ali Pali, and I'm going to pop in some bits of video and photos and things just to show you how we got on, and then at the end stick around because there may have been some purchases and I'm going to run through those with you. Just a quick little heads up that I'm trying a slightly different angle today, so if you're thinking my room looks different, that's why. I've just moved you around a little bit. I'm trying to counteract the effect of the light coming through the blinds and see if that makes a difference. So we'll see how it goes. Watch a nice little bit of footage coming up now, and I'll see you in a minute.
Good morning, everybody. It's very bright and early on a Thursday morning. I'm currently up in Bath at my daughter's house. And we're about to go on an adventure. Excuse the wet hair, haven't had time to dry it yet. But yeah, we're off to London in a minute, and then we're heading to the knitting and stitching show at Ali Pali. Maybe see some of you there.
So that was our trip to London. Hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did. We went to the knitting and stitching show, like I said, on Thursday, first day of the show, and it was pretty good. It was reasonably quiet. We did get there sort of around lunchtime, so it was busy but not too busy. Sophie has been with me to the Stitch Festival at the Business Design Centre in Islington before, and she thought, well, we both thought that the knitting and stitching show had a lot more of a feeling of space to it. It felt much more open. There were lots of seats dotted around. Sophie said they really knew their audience and had prepared with lots of seating areas, which was great. So, you know, if you needed a little bit of respite, you could just have a sit down. Lots of places for food as well. We ended up having pizza for lunch, which was really tasty. Slightly tricky finding somewhere to sit and eat it because at that point everywhere was very busy, but we did eventually get a seat, and pizza was good, not too expensive. I mean, quite expensive, but not overly so. And yeah, just really enjoyed the day. I had a trip round the big room and the smaller room. Looked at all the stalls I wanted to. I don't know why I was surprised, given the name of the event is the Knitting and Stitching Show, but there were a lot of knitting stalls there. Lots of stalls selling wool, crochet hooks, knitting needles, all that sort of thing. And I was quite tempted by some wool, but I currently have about 3 knitting projects still partly finished that I haven't actually got around to finishing yet, so I think I should probably get those done before I start something else. So I was very good and I didn't buy any wool. I also didn't really want to be carrying massive packs of wool around London with me, but I did visit the fabric stalls, obviously, and I did make some purchases. So I'm going to run through those in a moment, but I will just tell you what we did for the rest of the time, because we only really spent a couple of hours at the show. That's sort of about our limit usually. And then we went back and checked into our hotel. We were staying in a little hotel just near King's Cross. Not the nicest hotel I've stayed in ever, but it was absolutely fine for what we needed. It had a bed and a bathroom. That was all we really needed it for. It was very hot in the room though, so we slept with the fan blowing all night, which was unexpected, but it was fine. So we went back to the hotel, checked in, dropped our bags off, and then went back out again, by which time it was probably, I think it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we hopped on the tube and went to Camden and had a wander around the shops and market, etc. in Camden. Sophie made some purchases for her friends from the I don't know how to describe it. It's like a sort of an anime gumball machine shop. It was like lots of different characters from different animes that she managed to get some for her friends from there. What else did we do? I think that was all we bought in Camden. I think in the footage you've just seen, you'll see us walking through the sort of covered market area with all the umbrellas hanging from the ceiling, which looked very pretty. So I took a little bit of footage of that. And then we just had a wander and found somewhere to eat. We were going to eat in one place that on the signs promised pie and mash. And then when we got inside, they had very little vegetarian options, and Sophie's a vegetarian, and no pie and mash. So we decided not to stay there and hopped over to Honest Burger instead, because we always know that we get a good tasty burger there. That was pretty much it. I think we were pretty tired by that stage because we'd had a lot of travelling, then going around the show, then wandering around Camden. Certainly got our steps in and headed back to the hotel after dinner and just kind of chilled in the room, watched a bit of telly. I fell asleep very early. That was the first day. And then on Friday, we got up bright and early, headed out for some breakfast at a lovely little brunch place just around the corner from our hotel. And then had a wander over to Seven Dials and Covent Garden area and Soho. We didn't actually end up going to Covent Garden this time. We just went Seven Dials, Soho, Tottenham Court Road, and had a look at Outernet again. Played with our little forest creatures that we did last time we were in London. So that was good fun. Just did a lot of walking. Sophie bought some Pokemon cards because there was a new release on Friday. So she was very pleased to get hold of some of those. And did more walking, stopped for coffee, stopped for lunch. Just had a very lovely day. We just enjoyed pootling around with no specific place to be, no show that we had to get to for a certain time or anything. We just liked wandering around London, seeing the sights and having a jolly good time. Then we headed back on the train. Sophie got off at Bath So I waved goodbye to her there and I headed on back to Exeter. And here we are, back home again. Had a good night's sleep last night, so I'm slightly more rested. And I'm going to show you what I bought. So let's start with, what did I go to first? I think the first stand I went to, I believe, was Fabric Godmother. I think that was the first one I went to. And I knew I was going to get something from Fabric Godmother because I love all of their fabrics. We did, while we were there, look at the fleeces, her rune fleece, Sophie particularly liked. And there was one that's like black with brightly coloured flowers on that I liked. So I think I will probably be purchasing both of those online, because being big bulky fabrics, I didn't really want to carry them around all day and have to bring them back on the train. So we had a look at them at the show, but I'm going to probably just buy them online. There was also a kind of blue check boucle fabric that I may get for my husband to make him something for Christmas. Potentially. I think that might be something he might wear. So yeah. So that was, yeah, so we looked at those, we didn't buy them. And then I think, did I spot or Sophie spotted? I can't remember. Their new range of fabrics, and I may have bought one of those. So first of all, they all came in this lovely tote bag. That does say Fabric Godmother, albeit backwards for you, which was very handy because I'd forgotten to take any tote bags with me to the show, which is a real rookie mistake, schoolgirl error. But yeah, I just forgot. So it was very handy that Fabric Godmother were giving them out with their purchases. So the first one I bought, I had seen online and had been toying with getting, and just decided to bite the bullet when I was there. And it's their Papillon, but in the viscose crepe. So this is the Papillon fabric. It's got all these lovely butterflies on. But I love the bright colours of the butterflies contrasted with the black and white polka dot. I just think it's really pretty. And I'm thinking a blouse in that. I think it's probably going to be another one of the lyrical shirts by Pattern Emporium that I've just made in the leopard fabric. I think another one of those in this fabric, which I can wear for work with either with black trousers, obviously, but also my blue trousers or my green trousers, and maybe even my pink trousers if I'm feeling adventurous. But yeah, so I think that will go with a lot of things. There's also a kind of a burgundy in it, in the inner bits of the wings. So I could wear it with my burgundy jeans that I made last year as well. So lots of options for that, I think. And I think I do like the lyrical shirt with the big sort of poofy sleeves with the frill, but then just a quite simple bodice to it. So I think that's what that's probably going to be. Next up was one of their brand new fabrics from their new autumn range. Can't remember what it's called. No, can't remember. I'll pop it along the bottom of the screen. But this is continuing along the theme of getting more purple into my wardrobe, which I didn't even realise was a thing, but it seems to be what I'm going with. And it's this one, which is also a viscose crepe. And it's got these gorgeous sort of, it's a real sort of plummy, I don't know if you can really see the colour, plummy purple background. But with these, I love the bright colours scattered throughout it, particularly these flowers here. I'm loving those pink flowers. Yeah, so I'm not sure yet what I'm going to be making with that. It will be, I only bought 2 meters, which is probably not enough for a dress. We'll see. I might get a dress out of it, but it's more likely going to be a top or a blouse of some description. Don't know what yet. Answers on a postcard. Yeah, so we'll see how that comes out. But yeah, I love the colour of it. I think it suits me. But yeah, I love the colour, and that will be made up next month probably, because I've got quite a few plans already for this month, as you all have seen in my last video. So that was the only two I bought from Fabric Godmother. Very pleased with both of those, looking forward to making those up. Next up, I went to Bornella Fabrics. And I've never actually bought fabric from Bornella Fabrics before. I've seen them online and I've seen them at the shows, just not purchased any myself. But I have seen other people do the gumball machine, and I couldn't resist this time. So you put in £1 into the machine, you get one of the little plastic balls, that's the word, get one of the little plastic balls out, and inside is a label and a little sweet treat. And my label, you won't be able to see because it's backwards, but I will tell you, it says snug as a bug in a rug, which is very cute, and will be going into one of the jumpers that I'm planning on making. So that was very lovely. And the sweet treat was some taffy, which I haven't eaten yet. I am planning to, but I have a bit of an issue at the moment with my jaw. I managed to dislocate it a couple of weeks ago, and whilst I think it's back in place, it's still very painful. So taffy is not a good idea right now. But there we are, such is life. So that was Bornella Fabrics, and then I did also purchase some fabric from her. And if any of you are followers of Bex at What Bex Sews, you will have seen this fabric before, because she's made two items from it. She's made a gorgeous cardigan and a Drew sweatshirt, and it is this lovely brushback. I think it's a brushback French terry. Yeah, I think that's what it is, a brushback French terry. And from a distance it looks like animal print, but if you look closely, it's lots of ladies' faces. And they had two colourways of it. There was a sort of a pinky, almost like a pinky, peachy pink colour, and this bright green. And Sophie said, get the green, Mum. So we got the green one. So that is probably going to be another one of my South Bank Somerset mashup jumpers, like my green and blue one that I've worn a lot recently. That's probably going to be the same again, and it will go with my black trousers, it'll go with my jeans, it'll go with my bright green jeans. So there we are. I'm looking forward to making that up, and I think that's going to be nice and snuggly for autumn winter. And that is all the fabric I bought, just 3 pieces, which I think is pretty restrained. I did, however, make a couple of other purchases. I then, after Bornella Fabrics, we went on to the second room. No, I think, oh, I don't remember. I can't remember where it was. But anyway, we went to Ethel and Joan, and I've never bought buttons from them before, but I did love some of the ones they had, and particularly, I'm not sure how well they're going to show up, but these ones are sort of black with flecks of colour in. Can you see those shining? So yes, they're a perfect size for me, and quite a few of the outfits I make will have either black in or will pick up some of those colours. So yeah, I think they're going to be very handy for me. So that was from Ethel and Joan, and we had a lovely little chat with the lady on the stall. I don't know if she was Ethel or Joan, but she was having a nice chat with us, asking me about my bag, which was my bright pink bestie bag, and admiring Sophie's dress and bags, all of which I had made myself. So yeah, it was nice, very nice little chat with the lady on the stall there. And then I also went to Generates, to her stall. I don't know if you can see on the packaging here. Generates, this is the everyday hemmer, silicone hot hemmer. and I went for the inches one because I'm afraid I'm an inches girl. And I've been meaning to get one of these for a while because I always pretty much guess with my hems. And I felt like it was time that I actually did it slightly more accurately. So yes, I went for one of these hot hemmers that got the guidelines here so that you can accurately hem your hems. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to trying that out and seeing how I get on. And it was quite fun stopping by the Generates stall and pointing out to Sophie, oh, there's a sewing bee and that's a bee, and they were a bee as well. There were about 3 of them, I think, at the stall, with Jen, who herself obviously was on the sewing bee. So yeah, that was a little bit of star spotting there. As Sophie said to me, that'll be you one day, Mum. Maybe. Yeah, so that, I believe, is all my purchases. So I don't think I did too badly there. 3 pieces of fabric, some buttons, and a hot hemmer. All things I will use and or wanted beforehand, and a lovely little label to go with it too. So very pleased with that, and we had a lovely time. What more can you ask for? I've realised that I've got my camera up slightly higher today, based on some advice from Sam Sequin Girly about having the camera angle a little bit higher, slightly better, slightly more flattering, I'm hoping. But it does mean that you don't see my hands, and I do talk with my hands quite a lot, so I need to gesture higher. But yes, hopefully that's of some interest to you and you're all having a lovely weekend. This will probably come out on Sunday as one of my Sunday Sews videos, so you may be mostly through your weekend by now, but hopefully you've had some good time for sewing and that you're all well and keeping healthy. I know there's a lot of nasty bugs around at the moment that people are falling foul of, so wrap up warm and keep yourself healthy. And that's about it. I will just tell you what I'm wearing in case you're interested. This is a jumper I've made a couple of times. In fact, I can't remember what the number, who it's by or what the number is. I'll put the details along the bottom here once I found the pattern. I've actually made this one slightly wrong because it has this fold down collar. I've just realised that that's been over the microphone the whole time, so I hope you've been able to hear me. But it has this fold down collar and the join is supposed to be around the back. So I've done this completely wrong, but I don't mind. I kind of like the look of it. And it's in a viscose blend sweater knit, I believe, that I think I bought from Lamazi many years ago. But yeah, I do like this colour. I might have to get some more in a colour like this and make a cardigan out of it to go with the blue beige striped fabric dress that I'm planning on making, because I think this will go quite nicely with that. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing. It's snuggly jumper weather, so I shall be living in these for the foreseeable future, I believe. Good to speak to you all. Hope you're all well, and I will catch you again soon with our next video, which I'm hoping might be a singing one, but we'll see how we go. Speak to you soon. Take care. Goodbye.